Hello, Taurus. How's everybody doing today? Hi, everybody. Hi, Taurus. I hope you're doing well. Wasn't sure if that went through. I saw it buffering for a second. Welcome to your reading. This is for the month of September, but because it's live, it'll actually be for about 6 weeks or so. You'll get relevant messages for today as well. I hope you're all doing well. And it's been a busy morning as always. I've been channeling and writing down all the messages for you, and we'll be getting into that in just a second. I wanted to say hi here with Apollo. I'm going to put this little guy down so that we can get started and focus on all of the channeled information and also the cards here for the month of September. So again, this is for Taurus. You can use it for sun, rising, and moon. I don't always remember to say that, but you definitely can. And if you know other aspects of your chart, like where this falls in Venus, etc., and it's relevant for that, feel free to watch that as well. If you are new, let me just introduce myself and give you a general understanding for what's in store today. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and I like to show up every month to really give you the tools that you need to navigate through the opportunities of the month. I'm reading energy. I'll be looking at cards too, but I get a lot of psychic downloads, and that's the first part of the reading. To that end, there's 4 major sections that we'll be kind of going through today. On the table here, I've channeled messages before the reading, and I'll talk about that. Then we'll go into a Celtic Cross, which really gives you a much more sort of tangible look at high points, challenges, and the opportunities that kind of make up all the space in between that. And then I'll focus on some specific areas such as health, wealth, love, and destiny. And after we kind of review all of that, then we'll get into the soul path, and the soul path will allow all of us to kind of look a little bit deeper into the well of opportunity for the rest of this year, and hopefully set us on a bigger trajectory. Each reading takes on its own energy, and for that soul path, there'll be a common thread that I notice as we go through all of this, maybe 1 or 2 threads, and we look at that, particularly the past, present, and future influences that have led to a lot of the patterns that will show up in today's reading. And after that, we integrate a little bit using a singing bowl, and it's a nice guided meditation. So I hope you can stick through the entire reading, and each part is a little bit different and kind of helps you through some different things. Welcome to all my returning viewers, especially those of you that were here early. I appreciate it. And welcome to my moderators, Ryan and Maria. Both of them can answer basic questions about what's going on, where to find information on my website. They do a great job also of keeping a nice, safe place here in this chat room. So I appreciate them. Please treat them with kindness. And yeah, they're here to help. If you're brand new, welcome. Again, it's great to see you. I'll get into a bunch of information at the end on how you can connect with me across social media and all of that jazz. But before we get started, one more thing I want to talk about is that this is a general reading. Sometimes I neglect to say that. I will be going through a lot of information. Usually it's a little bit over an hour, and I need to channel it. So as such, I don't answer Q&A. Sometimes when I'm doing the live reading, the same question will be spammed 10 times. Just you can ask the moderators a question if it's relevant to something general. Otherwise, just listen. This is going to be a download, and the relevant information should come through for you. If you want to show support, however, I'd love for you to do that. You can use Super Chat, and there's a little icon here next to the emojis. And basically, this will allow you to say hi, send some support, maybe like a little unicorn or rainbow or something, and just say that you appreciate what you're seeing. Then I directly use this later to help buy decks of cards. Today's is the Fountain Tarot, and this is something that I got with your help. So thank you so much. All of you that also are members, those of you with the green text, or follow me on Patreon, you help me get cards just like this. So thank you so much. All right, let's get into the channel messages for this month. Again, it's September, but because it's live, some of this may also apply to those of you that are watching before that. Okay, so the first thing that came through, I get it through a combination of 3 things: dreams, meditation, and also the act of physically writing, automatic writing. So it was all 3 today. This first one was from a dream image that came to me. And it actually it was the last 2 or 3 nights I was seeing this. And it was specifically for your sign. It was to be prepared for an organic meeting or connection. And one of the things that I saw in this vision was this feeling of try to kind of feel your best, look your best, and be your best. It's basically it's mind, body, spirit. It's not any one of those things. I think the most important thing is to sort of hold yourself with that grace and confidence as you're going out into the world. It's interesting right now because, we're putting on masks all the time and kind of hiding ourselves. And many of us are working remotely. And it can get easy to just sort of not care as much about appearances. But there is a certain point where I would say do it for yourself so that you can basically project the best possible energy, because one of those chance meetings could be really, really important. Either it could open up a job opportunity, it could open up a love opportunity, or it could just be reconnecting with a friend. In any of these cases, you want to feel and look your best. So basically, just be ready for an organic meeting or connection. Feels like it's in the works. I saw a couple happening, and to me, it looked like it was almost like being in line at the grocery store or at the bank or something kind of mundane like that. But what we're all doing right now, that's almost our only escape. So be ready. You might meet someone unexpected there. And then kind of going to how you're presenting yourself, I would say dress your best even for those virtual meetings that you're having, because it's still an expression of how serious you take yourself. This is not saying that you have to spend a lot of money. It's just saying like good hygiene, get your hair together, get everything ready, and saying like, I value me. What I have to say and what I have to share with you is of value. So put your best foot forward. And I think that that's going to help you both in real life organic meetings and also on these sort of virtual meetings that we're all having right now. It also will kind of set you apart from the people that are just phoning it in, that aren't really putting in 110%. This is a way to shine. And we're looking for new ways to do that in this new way of living and working. The other piece here, and it's kind of all about preparation, this first stream of messages that I'm bringing through. This next piece of that is about preparation. I can't remember which sign it was. I know it was last month's readings, but I was talking about kind of like avoiding or waiting for change to happen. And I said that was an invitation for the tower. Why don't we focus on how we can invite the cool cards, right? The higher frequency ones. Preparation is an invitation for the star or the world, because when you've done everything you need to do and you're ready, and this is all about kind of getting ready, feeling ready, opening up to that abundance, then it's basically saying, now I'm open to that portal. And that, to me, that's what the world is. It's a portal that opens, it's a door, it's a window, whatever metaphor you want to use. That readiness is what brings about luck. It's hard work and preparation that bring about success or luck. And I want you to really focus on preparing yourself externally, internally, cognitively, and spiritually for the success to happen. So preparation is an invitation for the star or the world. And that's a way to, rather than focusing on what will happen if you don't do something, what if you do something, I really want to kind of empower you. So that's how you can open in those positive energies. And I think a nice little mantra that you could use if it feels right, if it resonates, is I'm ready for abundance in all forms. You can even add in there love and abundance in all forms. And that's one of my personal mantras. And if I'm kind of feeling low, or if I'm trying to make something happen, I just start to think about that. I'm ready to open up to the highest possible opportunity to love and abundance in all forms. Overall, this main thread is about going that extra mile or kilometer and finding your passion. And really, this last piece is important, because if you are not feeling engaged, if you're not feeling inspired, this may be something bigger to pay attention to. Have you sort of kind of fallen out of love with whatever it is that you're doing? Specifically, it could be a course of study, a job, or maybe just a hobby or a passion in your life. If it's a relationship, the same holds true. What's going on where you feel maybe like disengaged? This is a chance to really get into the heart space this month and figure out, how can I activate this? And I would even say the second chakra, where we hold our sexual energy and creative energy, those two chakras need to be open to really allow you to be your best. So maybe we'll focus on those a little bit in the meditation, but we'll see what messages come through as well. All right. The next piece is for those of you that are trying to make something happen amid all of this sort of crazy stuff that we're dealing with in 2020. I think it's important to remember that perhaps because of the massive changes going on, some things are hard for, some of us to let go of. I wrote down, we're creatures of habit. So as such, change can take a while. We've had massive changes in the world that have affected the way that we do business, go to school, buy groceries, as I said, shop, eat. All those basic things have changed a lot. So other pieces of our life where we maybe would normally be more open to risk or changing, it's a little bit harder because it's sort of like, I want one thing that I can depend on. So maybe pick an area and just keep working on that. And if you're trying to win over someone, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a boss, it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of like sand down those layers and get to what's underneath. Here's what we want to focus on. And I haven't said this as much as I used to. About 1 or 2 years ago, I think I ended every reading with this message. So I'll intersperse it a little bit now. I think this is the time for you to be a lighthouse or a spotlight, and particularly like a spotlight of reason or a light of reason. You might need to be the one that's showing the way, because some people feel lost right now, to be honest, right? And those of you that are in healthcare, who teach, who are healing or doing metaphysical work like I'm doing, that's a lot of what this is. It's sort of like I have to keep kindling and showing that flame, that light, that hope. And you'll have to find it first. There are days that all of us kind of go into that space of, I don't know, what's this about? And you can't kind of spiral down. When that happens, everything we're talking about today is a tool to get out of that. And for each sign, I get different tools that come through. For yours, it was harder for me this morning because I really had to sit here and channel and write it several times. So for me, automatic writing is a way to do it. By the way, that's a great way if you want to connect to stuff. Journaling is powerful because sometimes you need to move your hand, or you have to type a few times to get the energy out. Here's what you can kind of do. I've given you some techniques now. I'd like you to start the day with a clear mind. And it's as if we're going to talk about, I'm going to sidebar to this one because I think we need to talk about this first. If you could focus on each day being like the Fool card, where it's basically a new day, a new journey. It could be exciting, but you're not going to carry with you the baggage of the old day. The Fool has a tiny little knapsack, which ostensibly he kind of keeps just some food and maybe some clothing or whatever. Not a lot, not the burden of the day before, not like the 10 of Wands where you're carrying something heavy. If you can kind of go light-hearted and light-footed into the next day, then opportunity starts to open up. So clearing your mind by maybe meditating on that Fool card or that idea that I'm going to like push the reset. Enter the day with 3 things. And this is what you would probably be focusing on in the morning. Purpose. What am I trying to do today? Hope. Maybe today this is going to happen. I feel the possibility. I'm hopeful. It will happen. I'm going to work to make it happen. And I hope it's today. Resolve. I'm going to make this, and this part of my routine to push me closer to my goal. So get that idea, get behind that idea, do it. And that's kind of, and you could just have one item that's going to be purpose, hope, and resolve. And you're going to work on that. But that's your reset. And maybe one day you make a lot of progress, another day you get pushed back. The Fool doesn't care. It just keeps walking. And when I was kind of looking at the newsletter for the month of August, that was the overarching card. We'll see if it comes up in this deck today. It was the same deck here that I'm using that the card came from. But nonetheless, as I was preparing everything and I selected this deck, it came to me. I'm like, yeah, we have to kind of embrace the energy of the Fool a little bit. So that all of that is part of clear your mind, right? Don't hold on to yesterday, what, such and such said, or, how little or how much progress you made. That was yesterday. This is now. This is what matters. That doesn't matter. Tomorrow, you're affecting right now. So this is the most important piece of your day. Open your heart to what's possible, and that will help you be hopeful, help you find the purpose. And these last 2 are super important. Show up consistently and be the divine channel that you are. I don't know where along the way some of us were kind of cheated our power and our connection to the divine. But somewhere along the way, other people sometimes come in and make you think that they are the one that is going to help you get to plan, to the next point of your journey. And so what I want to remind you is that you actually have the power. You've always had the power to make it happen. But success doesn't happen overnight. It is born of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of passion, some setbacks, but it's perseverance that will get you through that. So the preparation, and then now also the perseverance, these two things I would say are going to open you up to the star in the world. So if you can get behind those two big words, but easy ideas. This is just saying, don't give up. That is saying, get everything ready so that the moment someone steps in and says, are you interested? Say, not only am I interested, but look, it's all ready. Sign me up. So during this period of time where we're waiting and we're hoping and we're preparing for this shift to happen, as 2021 and 2022 come in, that's when the world and the star opportunities will open up. This is where we'll look a little bit in the soul path on how to get you on that. Not everything's going to happen overnight, and our patience is being tried this year. So, it's not all going to be easy in 1 month. What I'm trying to do with all signs this year is to give you the ability to plant those seeds, these powerful kind of energetic seeds that will help you take flight and also kind of grow in the months and years ahead. It's not about a quick cash in. This isn't Vegas. This is long-term investment in your future. And that takes time. That takes energy. There's no shortcuts. But I'm giving you really good keys that will help you with that. And then we'll look tangibly at what the next month is. But some of these things are actually a little bit deeper and a little bit further, but that's what the guides wanted me to bring through. Last piece is all about changing your perspective. As if you're looking at the world in the Two of Wands card. What an appropriate sort of metaphor right now, because the world keeps changing. And I bet you that person is trying to figure out what's going on. So it's a lot different connotation this year when you're looking at like Two of Wands. But here's some things to help you change your perspective. First and foremost is to practice gratitude and also appreciation in an everyday sort of, I would say, routine. So one thing is just to express thank you by saying thank you or gratitude, but you could also show it. So thank you can also be making breakfast for your partner or your mom or for your kids or something. Thank you can be just making sure that everything is taken care of so somebody can relax at work or whatever. There's a lot of ways to say thanks, and I'm appreciative for where I'm at, for what you do, for all of this. But when you say thank you or when you show the gratitude, do it with all your heart. Otherwise, keep practicing, because you have to really feel it for it to work. And when you pray, when you meditate, when you connect to your higher self, however you connect with something beyond the physical, that gratitude really has to be heartfelt. You need to sort of feel it melting in your heart a little bit. And when you do that, it will open you to more from the universe. And Archangel Uriel came through once. I share this periodically with all of you, but it reminded me once in a meditation. I was going through something and I was asking for guidance and everything. It gave me the help, but it said, don't forget to say thank you. You could say thank you more. Literally, an archangel conveying that information to me was kind of like a gut punch. So every day since, it's been 10 years, I always try to infuse gratitude everywhere, because I realized it wasn't angry with me. That's not really how an archangel works. It was instructive. It was prescriptive. It was saying, when you do this, we can help you more, because love is the currency of the universe. And when you kind of really open up and say, thank you so much, and you start to kind of clear your head and clear your mind and go higher, more can come through you. It's hard right now because there's a lot to sort of be frustrated over, right? Some of you have lost your jobs. Some of you have lost loved ones. Some of you are just frustrated because the timeline is gone. The old timeline is gone. We're not going back to what we did before. It's going to be different. We're in a time travel movie, and I've talked about this before, but it's real life. And now we've been transplanted into this new space, and it's all unknown. It's all a little bit shifting, but these tools will help us navigate. And we still have power within this ever shifting energy to make the best path for us. And that's what all of this is about. Basically, again, what I was saying here is it just opens you to the divine. So those are the main messages here: preparation, perseverance, clarity of mind and heart, persistence when it comes to trying to make something happen, and realizing that change doesn't happen overnight. I think if you kind of hold true to these high-level ideals and ideas, then some great stuff is possible here in the month and the year ahead. So let me just get everything set up here, and I'm gonna be quiet in this next portion for a little bit, because as I pull out all the cards, I really want to pay attention to where they're at, and also what cards and messages are coming through, because I channel during that period as well. So thank you, and I'll be right back, and I appreciate your patience while I'm doing this. If this is your first time, welcome. A lot of times I get a question, is this live? Yes, this is live. All right. And again, thanks to all of you for helping me get this deck of cards. The deck is the Fountain Tarot. I see a question about that. It's on my website, so you can check it out there. Okay, so some exciting stuff, and we did get the Fool, which is interesting. So we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, the Catalyst card is an extra card. I pull a bunch of extra ones, but it's the first one that I look at that really helps us navigate how to stay in the high frequency, how to stay in the best possible energy for the month, and how to overcome obstacles in the same light. So we have Water Guardian here. Connecting with your emotions is the message underneath. And when I see water in any kind of tarot or oracle context, really for me, it's about navigating emotional highs and lows. And I mean, Taurus, you're very grounded. So I think what this is encouraging you to do is to look at places in your life where you can maybe be a little bit more vulnerable, where you can allow yourself to be free and to express and to explore new things. Because I'm going to turn the camera down for just a second. Two of the most important cards, I mean, we actually have three here. This is basically like what's top of mind, and it's the Ace of Cups. This is the near future. It's the Fool card that I was alluding to. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So passion, risk, and opportunity, or passion kind of leading you to that happenstance or that happy serendipitous connection that I was talking about, and then something big as well. So kind of following your heart is a big message this month. And so if you're not comfortable doing that, or if that's something that you typically try to avoid, you're always trying to kind of figure out how everything is going to be, this is a month where it might be a little messier, but that could also be good. It could be good to try new things. It could be good to kind of shift up the routine a little bit. So I like that. Also, the element of water is super healing from just a clearing and cleansing standpoint, and also kind of moving energy. So if you're fortunate enough to be by a body of water, whether it's a lake or an ocean, and it's somewhere where you can actually, that's safe to put your legs in or whatever, this would be a good time to do that. Like, go to the beach, take off your shoes, and just kind of get your feet wet and really feel the connection to the earth, but also let that salt water, or if it's fresh water, it still works fine. Salt water is a little bit better because it's going to clear your energy, but just kind of let it wash over you. You don't have to get kind of fully in the ocean. And it will really start to let you release things that you don't need in your life anymore. Just smelling or getting that mist from the sea, that salty air kind of going over you, that's a really cleansing energy. You can do this in your own house. You can get a salt scrub. If you have a shower, if you have a bath, you can get Epsom salt. It's very inexpensive. It's at most convenience or drugstores, $3 or $4 for a non-branded one or like a store branded one. And once a week, you can treat yourself to a bath. I've been talking about that in a couple of signs this month. So I think that that's a really good thing to do. Connect with water and also drink water, because if you've ever been feeling really heavy energy or stress or emotions, always keep some water handy and try to get that, because it moves the energy through your body. It's good for your body too. So hydrate, connect with the element of water in real life, and then also put yourself out there a little bit emotionally. Let's go into the cards now. We have the King of Pentacles right at the center. What a great card to have at the center. This is showing me that you really have the potential to secure, to grow, to move things in the realm of finances and resources this month. This is also a card of house and home. So when I get the Queen or the King of Pentacles, a lot of us are kind of living in that energy in 2020. We spend a lot of our time working, living, sleeping, entertaining, all in the same space. So do what you can to feel comfortable in it, but look at how he's kind of in a little box, right? This is why I think we're getting that element of water and moving. Go to the pool, go to the beach, get outside. Get outside of your box is what I'm seeing, because it's going to open up your thinking. One thing a lot of times when we see a king card is, because it's the highest in the suit, you can kind of, it's that stubbornness that I was talking about when you are, like I said, a creature of habit, and that sometimes change takes time, and also just clearing your mind in order to kind of get out of that stagnant way of being. You might need to move out of that. And also there could be something beneficial if you have to have a difficult conversation with someone else to get you both out of your spaces and in a neutral sort of common meeting space. So out of the box basically is what I'm seeing in the thinking, in your habits, and possibly even when you're doing business. It's all out of the box this year, actually. All right. There's some important things to think about, especially when you are deciding who you want to invest in. When I say that, that is your relationships, because when pentacles are time, money, and love, it's energy. It's all an expression of energy. So look in your life and think, who am I investing the most energy into right now? And am I getting a return on that? Because we have the Seven of Swords right on top of that. And this one's really nicely illustrated, because a lot of times you don't see it's about taking or trying to take more than you should and get away with that. So is there somebody in your life who's kind of been phoning it in for a while? It could be, this happens a lot at work when I do like a career spread. Usually I'm not seeing its sister card, which is the Five of Swords. So we just have the one. But with the Seven of Swords, I would say accountability, transparency. These are two of the most important things when it comes to communicating and dealing with the energy of someone that's not accountable. And then like hold them to their promise, clarify and make sure that, did I not make it clear? Basically, bring it into the light. I said earlier, you need to be that spotlight or that lighthouse. So you're going to shine that light on it and say, I see you. I see what's going on. We need to deal with this. The sooner you do that, the better it's going to be. It's going to avoid you from having to deal with energy like the moon or the devil or the tower or anything like that. So open it up, talk about a solution, hold them to that. And if not, then you can also walk away, because the Seven of Swords is about cutting losses. So you deal with what needs to be dealt with. You are transparent, you are direct, you are communicative, and reciprocity has to be part of this. This has to be even. So there's something right now in your life. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be an investment of time, energy, or money, where it just feels like you're not getting back what you should. So it's time to reevaluate it. It's time to have a heart-to-heart, and hopefully you can diffuse it and bring it into the light. If not, it's also a blessing, and you think, well, I'm not going to do that anymore because it's just kind of like taking my energy. It's like a battery that's not charging. So once you deal with that, I'm glad it came up at the center. Everything else seems really positive. All right, Eight of Cups in the deep past. This is making and breaking cycles. perhaps walking away from something, perhaps walking towards something that you left behind before, because the Eight of Cups can come through when we decide I need a break. Maybe I need to take a sabbatical. Maybe I've just given up on something or someone or myself, and I need time to figure out and trust that again. But your choice right now, and it is right now if you're watching me live, is what is it about this time around that's going to make it different? Have you grown? Do you have more faith in yourself? Do you have less faith in someone else? You got to make or break this cycle. And then once you do that, big changes happen in your life with the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. So if the cycle feels good, you can invest something more in it and make it grow even more. If it doesn't, this may be your time for independence. September could be a chance for you to try something new. But what I like about Eight of Cups is it can be second chances. The card is reversed, so it would tell me this time it should work, or you're going to have a much better experience with it. So trust yourself. A lot of times with 5 and 7 of Swords, there can be a self sort of defeating thing that's coming through a thought process sometimes. So why not entertain the thought that I can do it better this time because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more prepared. We were talking about perseverance and preparation. Those two things are going to step in and diffuse what we're seeing here. Okay, go in it with a positive attitude, because when we're looking at the recent past, we have the 9 of Cups. The card was reversed, but it's still super positive. So this is saying if you can channel the highest possible energy of I'm excited, I'm ready for this, I'm going to give it 110%, then you're going to really impress people. And again, this time around, I see success happening because we have the return of that cup that was missing in the Eight of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups here. Sorry, the light's drowning it out a little bit. So there you go. This can be new love. This can be something that's really exciting that you want to share with the world. This could just be happiness after a period of feeling like, why won't this work? So keep it up. With the 8 and the 9 of Cups, I see you making progress emotionally. And then with the King of Coins at the center, King of Pentacles, you already have what it takes to make it. You just have to trust yourself. I think that there's a lot of confidence and emotional energy this month. So on this Ace of Cups, it's not a solitary sort of thing. Notice that we have the 2 doves. So you're not alone. Even though a lot of us feel alone, I'm here right now. There's a lot of other people in chat and also in the world in general. So this is about reaching out. I saw connections happening. It was riddling my dreams the past couple of nights after I did my last reading. So it's all for you. And I was like, why is this? why am I seeing so many kind of like connections happening? So that would be one of the themes, is like opening yourself up to those connections, because it feels like the world is kind of knocking on the door and saying, are you ready? All right, it did come through. We have the Fool card here. It's reversed. I want to pull it up upright. This is the card that I featured in my newsletter. It's really pretty. This deck in general is nice because it's kind of like geometric shapes and abstract figures and paintings. It's very nice. There's a fluid, airy energy. And I think we needed that. We got water here, and now we have some air to kind of breathe some life into the month ahead. So when the Fool is reversed, it can sometimes show a feeling of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I want you to kind of take a look at things in your life that might be slowing down your velocity or making you feel like you're not ready, because hesitation can be one of those to kind of go forward. Some of that can just be the fear of risk, right? Because any opportunity carries with it a risk of success and failure, sometimes even a risk of people judging you, and maybe you're not comfortable with what they're going to think. The Fool doesn't care. You know, what I like about this is there's a playful energy, and it's like, I'm just going to go after this. I don't care what you think, because this is what I've been pulled to do. So embrace what the Fool is doing here and be free. This Fool doesn't even have a knapsack. It's just like a little kid running and having a great time. Like Apollo, when I say, do you want to go for a walk? Hopefully he doesn't hear me, because he'll get excited. So this is important. I want you to kind of feel like that little kid or that little dog, excited about the journey ahead. It's not accidental that there's usually a dog on the Fool card too, because we have that childlike energy, the loyalty, and that kind of effervescent sort of push that I think some of us need right now. So there you go. The Fool to me is a new beginning. Ace of Cups, the Fool, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune might as well be the world, because it contains with it all 4 seasons and a change. And as illustrated here, it's a portal. So this could be, for many of you, a decision that you're going to move on, to move physically, to change your job, to change your perspective, to really just change. So metamorphosis, we didn't get death, but we might as well have. Anyway, transformation is a big element that's coming through here as well. Are you ready? That's my sort of question. It's a question that I'll be releasing my book in a couple of months. More to come, hopefully, a couple of months. Just pay attention to the channel here. But one of the messages in that is, are you ready? Keeps coming through in that. Because I believe the universe is always whispering that to us. Are you ready? So I'm asking you that this month. Are you ready for what's coming? Because I see a lot. I definitely see new people, new connections, and for some of you, possibly a change of job. Okay. Good stuff. All right, let's look now at your soul. And your soul is showing me, I feel like a lot of you have worked maybe tirelessly or too much in giving to others. So we have the Four of Wands, which I think is one of the most positive cards in the deck. It's reversed, but this is still a card of community. Notice how these Four Wands are channeled in on you. There are other people here. We actually see a partnership of, group, small group of maybe 4 people, but they're coming through, connecting and pointing into you. So what if, and also this card is now the arrows pointing up. I want you to use some of your energy this month to go into something higher, and don't be afraid to allow people to give to you. So when you say I'm open to love and abundance in all forms, you could say I'm ready to receive now the highest possible gift, the highest possible opportunity, universe. And when I say now, I mean now. Say that when you're ready, because the universe is sometimes waiting. When you say soon, it doesn't know is like, is soon in a week? Is it in a year? Is it in the end of your life? Be specific in some of the goals that you're setting, not like demanding, but specific. I'm ready this month. Let's bring it through. Or by the end of this year. Because as you start to do goal setting like that, the universe is like, I hear you. All right, let's see what I can do. And it starts to set up some opportunities. Preparation's key. So you don't want to think right now, I'm ready for $10,000 and step outside and look around and see what's going to happen. You have to work for these things to happen. But like, put your goal out there. If it's that, then figure out, a time frame that makes sense and start showing up every day and working towards that goal. Okay. Realistic expectations are key here. But I also believe in the power of miracles, and things can happen a little faster, just not maybe that fast. I think you're all amazing at manifestation, but if any of you do find that on the floor, let me know. All right. But one thing I'm going to say with the Four of Wands is to really make sure that the relationships and the bonds that you're building, just like we saw with the Seven of Swords, people are accountable, people reciprocate, and that you just feel a sense of it's community, it's freely and evenly flowing between you and others. I like Four of Wands, it's foundational. I also like these 3 cards together. Ace of Cups, new love, new relationship, passion. The Fool, taking that leap of faith, maybe saying I love you, maybe saying I will, maybe saying, yeah, I'm ready for that change. And then the Four of Wands, something that's longer lasting, the friendship, not just the passion. And isn't that what we're all looking for in all kind of relationships? It's sort of like you want that rush, but you also want the commitment and the stability. So I'm seeing that, but you have to kind of take a chance. A lot of us have been burned a few times in various different things, whether it's a work relationship or a love relationship. And it's hard sometimes to put yourself out there again. I get it. But I'm seeing some positive energy here. I think the main thing now is you're going to change this cycle of letting people get away with things. You don't have to be confrontational. You just have to let them know, I see you. I see that. What are you doing? And then see where that goes. You can do it in a very sort of friendly tone, but let them know, I see you. All right. We have the King of Wands in the environment. So we have 2 kings. I really like this if you are meeting a new person in your life for love. This is evenly energetically met. So 2 queens, 2 kings, 2 knights, 2 pages. That means you're on the same page, basically. I'm seeing you here at the center, King of Coins, and I'm seeing a nice fire sign here around you, or something really passionate around you, a project or a person that's kind of igniting your internal flame. Looks good to me. This looks like a great partnership or a great venture. You're both upright. You both seem to be bringing positivity. I think the main thing, again, is accountability here with the Seven of Swords. You have to stay accountable. They have to stay accountable. Or if it's a project and you're working on it, you have to kind of keep true to your sort of goals for that project. So accountability, honesty, reciprocity, if those things are present, I see good movement there. But there may be one cycle to break, and it really is just making sure that you both keep your end of the bargains. With the Nine of Cups in reverse, by the way, I'm glad that we see people coming out now. One of the former first ladies was talking about depression. Some of you might be feeling minor depression or major depression. If you're feeling that, then this is a good time to do something about that, because that could also be holding you back. Nine of Cups in reverse can be an inability to sometimes control the extremes of our emotions. So sometimes feeling like you're beholden to things out of your control. And it's just like, it can be a really great day or really bad day, or maybe you're just having a lot of days where it's just being too low or too high. So I can't stress enough how important mental health is in the mind, body, spirit sort of equation. So do what you need to do this month. I feel confident, though, that you can manage it, because this is probably the best card for being able to manage your thoughts and opportunities. So we have money management at the center, and we have thought and idea management with this card. Really great stuff. So if you're single and happy, these two cards portend great things for business and finance. If you're in a relationship and you've had some struggles, you can work through it. If you're deciding to leave and go on your own, you can also do that, because you've got that ability to manage. So wherever you're at in the spectrum, you've got this, okay? But this is your wrinkle that you have to iron out, the Seven of Swords, all right? Some of you are almost ready to let something go. The Three of Coins is recognition. So, maybe this is a project. Maybe you're getting ready to graduate. Maybe you're finally getting recognized for what matters. Maybe you've decided that you want to invest in yourself and go back to school. This is higher knowledge acquisition. This is recognition. This is working hard. These were the two P words that I was talking about, perseverance and preparation. They come together in the Three of Pentacles, and good things happen. And we sort of see him at the middle of this Venn diagram with all that stuff coming into fruition. And I'm excited for you guys, because this is in the opportunity space. So this kind of colors not just the month ahead, but the next several months. So don't give up on what you're doing. I've talked a lot about this. Whatever it is, there's a lot of things where I believe 2020 was a year where a lot of shadow energy came forward to teach us. And so the way of kind of defeating the shadow energy, or blessing it and saying, thanks for triggering me so I understand I really want to finish it. The shadow comes through to sort of say, do you really want this? And it might tempt you with another opportunity. If you really want it, you're going to be like, yeah, I really want it. I want to finish this. The shadow will move on to the next person. So the shadow can be a thought, it can be a feeling, it can be a projection that you're actually creating. But the Three of Coins is telling me you've got something worth fighting for, so fight for it. Wheel of Fortune, that's the success that's waiting for you, okay? The card is reversed, but it doesn't matter on this one. It just tells me that the timeline could be shifted a little bit. So be open to different ways to do things, and thinking outside of the box, as I said earlier. There's not just one way to get something done. Probably one of my favorite Wheel of Fortune cards. So anyway, you've got this. Keep working on it, but it might involve, for some of you, even a physical move, because of the Fool card, or some travel when that's allowed again. Let's go ahead and expand the forecast. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Each of these is multi-part. So let me take a quick drink and we'll look at all of that. Okay. With the health card, mind, body, and spirit. Open yourself up to make a difference. We have the heart chakra opening up here, and healing begins. We have the color of the heart too. A lot of times people think it's like rose or it's red. That's not the color. It's green, which is why as you start to open your heart, you're open to abundance too. And one thing that you can do to kind of help with the healing, I mentioned water for moving your thoughts and anything that's stagnating in your life. Working with nature. Going outside around plants, the color green, literally. And for those of you that have a green thumb, you're probably a natural healer. That's one reason. And you just kind of have a very open heart space. It could be either one of those two things. So you might have healing energy going through your hands. You might just also have a really open heart chakra, and it pushes that love and that light and that energy to the plants around you. That doesn't mean that people with a brown thumb can't do it. It just means that they might be more constricted, or they just really have no desire to water things. But getting outside is going to be helpful. If you have time to meditate, I talk about trees. They're really powerful. Grounding, because they have kind of all the elements built into it. The wood, so we've got fire. We have the ground that it's kind of, all the roots are in, so we've got the earth. It's reaching up into the air and receiving light, fire, so you've got everything. So if you can meditate against a tree, kind of sit back and just close your eyes and connect with it, you have access to all the elements. It's a powerful, powerful vehicle for that. So maybe allow yourself to meditate. And whenever I feel like this happened for Aries, it happened for you. This will help you clear your thoughts. So you can kind of push them up through the top of the tree and just say, I don't need that anymore. Help me pull in the sunlight, help me pull in clarity, focus on the blue sky above you. And it's a great sort of meditative thing that you can do. Let's look at the cards here for some additional messages for health. I mentioned many of you just need to get out more. So we see this King of Pentacles boxed in. So get out of the box. Be honest with yourself. If there's something that you tell people that you're doing, whether it's like, oh yeah, I'm eating healthier, but you're not, or you're saying to your doctor that you're working out, but you're not, then just be honest with yourself and others and get on track. It doesn't matter. We all kind of tell ourselves things sometimes. So today's the decision that, no, I have to do it now. This is the right time. I'm ready to do this. And let me see here. With the emotional stuff, obviously, if you're dealing with something difficult, maybe it's pain, maybe it's loss, maybe it's depression, get the help that you need for that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm surprised more people aren't dealing with it this year. So I think that emotional well-being and getting some exposure to something besides the four walls around you are the key things that are coming through for health. The rest of it with the heart is to take a chance, because again, we have the Ace of Cups and the Fool energy saying, if there's something you really love, go for it. This is the time to go after that passion, that dream. All right. For wealth, one last thing for health. I'm going to say, if you've loved and been hurt before, this is a chance to also say it's not always going to be like that. One thing that concerns me if I have a reading with someone and they begin saying, I don't have any luck in love. I never meet the right person. I'm never going to find somebody. I'm like, I'll say, put on the brakes. You're kind of basically creating these self-fulfilling prophecies. Those sorts of things only keep happening if you cement them into your energy. So today, start thinking, love is going to start to be easier. I'm clearer, I'm cleaner energetically, and I'm going to attract a higher vibration, friend, partner, boss, etc. And change your perspective. That's one last thing that the card reminded me of. All right, looking now at wealth. The card is reversed, but it's Voyage of the Heart. It says love flows through you and to you. We're just talking about that. It's all about passion for you this month. So once you open up to that passion, great things flow through it. And this is a month where if you can if you can afford it, or if you can embrace that opportunity, that risk, do it. Sometimes you have to plan ahead. When I decided that I wanted to do what I'm doing, I had to work 2 additional years. I started building my business in 2013, but I couldn't quit it until 2015, my job, my day job. So, and I couldn't start this until 2015, but I was doing the training, I was building things up, I was getting everything set up way in advance. And I had some specific goals, some numbers that I had to reach in my savings so that I could kind of go, keep myself afloat for a couple years. The first 2 years are hard when you do something like that. And so just know that, and for this book that I'll be releasing in a few months, it's a 10-year journey on that one. It took me 5 years to write it, another 3 to kind of edit it, and then a couple years to kind of figure out I'm going to do it on my own. All of these things take time. They don't happen overnight. So show up, work hard, it'll happen. It's a voyage and there's ups and downs. So I want you to be patient and persistent and see it through. You have good cards when it comes to finances this month. So if you're doing well, just keep up with what you're doing. If you're working at a job for just the money, though, this can also be like a morale issue that's going on. This is encouraging you to maybe try to find something better. If you're out of work, you have permission to go after your dream this time around, if you can make it happen. Maybe, like me, the dream is going to take 2 years or 10 years to complete, that doesn't mean you give up on it. You just keep working. So I'm a very patient person. By the way, I'm reading for Taurus, so it's a lot of times I get these questions. My moon is in Taurus. I'm Capricorn ascendant or rising, and I'm Libra sun. But the Taurus part of me is good because it keeps me steady. The Capricorn side of me is great because I follow through on it. So use your Tauran energy to be stubborn, to be resolute, and to make it happen. I do it. You can do it. Okay. Let's see. Let's go on. So that was health and wealth. The other thing with wealth, I really want you to make better connections moving forward. So we have the Fool, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, Three of Coins. Everything's good for you, okay? So embrace it and don't get in your own way. Basically, what I'm seeing is you could have a self-defeating thought where you think, I can't do this, I won't do it, it's not going to happen. And that will then attract people that test that. So think now, I am stronger, I am wiser, I am ready for that right connection to happen, because it will. Okay. Love is the next piece. We looked at health, wealth. Let's look at love. We have positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Yes, I agree. It'll also bring you the best types of energy that you need. Stay optimistic about your love life. When I'm looking at love, though, let's elevate it beyond just like sexual, sensual, or partnership energy. It also is about what you're doing. So if you are, like me, an artist, and there's something that you are creatively doing, I know a lot of friends that are musicians, or who maybe even work in the, another, like a different sort of creative industry, or maybe you like work with your hands, you're an architect or, or a carpenter or something like that. You put a lot of TLC into everything that you're doing. I want you to feel good about that. Put your best foot forward. And I had a Reiki teacher once that gave me a really good piece of advice. And she said, even when you're not fully invested in one thing, never do less than your best, and then try to get on that path so that you are fully engaged and you don't give anything more than 110%, because everything in this life is recorded and measured in the Akashic records. And we really want to leave this with a clean slate. So don't sort of sell yourself short. Don't do less than what's expected of you. If you're in a contract for a job or something, at least do your job, and then try to go a little bit above and beyond, and then get on that path for something more. Because I was at the time dissatisfied and frustrated. And she's like, yeah, well, you've got a lot of blessings in your life and you're going to have to work for that. I always pull in tough teachers that will sometimes just tell me, well, you got to work. So with this, I want you to stay passionate and optimistic, but I also don't want you to give up. It's not always easy. And I think that we've gotten used to some, over the past few years, things were much easier. It's a little more difficult this year, but it doesn't mean that things can't or won't happen. It means that we're just being asked to be stronger. I see you have it. I know you have it because it's within the energy of Taurus. So pull together and good things will happen there. If you're in a challenging relationship where, again, a friend or a partner has disappointed you, I mentioned in the Aries reading something really important, and I'll do my best to paraphrase it because I don't have the card with me. But I believe that we can always inspire people to be the best versions of themselves, and that doing so allows them to kind of step into that template. So if you basically say, I know you, I love you, this isn't you. This is really what I feel like we need to be focusing on. If you're ready to do that, I'm ready for that. If you're not, that's your choice. You never want to try to change someone, but you can try to inspire them to be their best. Children especially, that's important, but I think people of all ages. So hold the space. It's their choice. It's their free will. You don't want to try to control them. But when you start to believe in people, sometimes they find the belief within themselves. I've had bosses where their motivational technique was simply to speak really highly of you when they would introduce you to somebody, and you think, gosh, I gotta live up to that now. That wasn't, that's a genius technique. You can use that in your everyday life. You could say, here's a really great friend of mine. You two should hang out. Like this person's great, blah, blah, blah. Or if you're working with someone, say it's always a pleasure to work with you because you do this, this, and this. And that's also kind of like a way of saying, keep doing that. So inspire with positive reinforcement when someone comes through. Also talk about what's not working, but it can't only be criticism. It needs to be constructive criticism, and then more importantly, positive reinforcement and communication on how they can continue to grow. Foster that positivity within a relationship, and then do the same for yourself, okay? Because your destiny card is about coming together. It's not about pointing fingers. It's not about demonizing. I don't even use that word that often because I don't like it, the D word. I believe that we all have the ability to ascend. That's the whole purpose that we're on this planet, to grow, to learn, to ascend, to transcend, and we can do it better in a group setting. And we are soul family here. That's everybody that showed up today. We've probably connected on some lifetime. That's why you're here in the chat room. It's not accidental or you're watching it on replay. So come together and do something that matters. The Four of Wands especially, I'm going to turn the camera down, and this come together message makes a lot of sense now as I'm looking at all of these. So let's review all the messages, and then I want to make sure that I leave enough time today. I always have to remind myself because I could talk for hours to look at the soul path and meditate. So let me get all of these cards here, and we'll do a quick review, and then we'll move on to the next portion. All right. So the most important thing, this is really under the preparation category. Be ready because an organic meeting or opportunity could happen this month through a connection where you just like at the supermarket, at the bank, etc. Dress your best, be your best, put your best foot forward because you don't know when this is going to happen. But I like to not think that it's an if, it's a when. So be prepared because that expectation, interestingly enough, will open it up. If you're ready for it every day, you'll start to call it in. Preparation is an invitation for the star or the world. Hello, this is what we're trying to bring in. Let's not worry about the tower anymore. Let's go to those high cards. Let's go to the ultimate card there, the world. And say I'm ready for love and abundance in all forms each and every day. And that's a great mantra to get started. Go that extra mile or kilometer, find your passion. If you're not where you want to be, then find out how to get there. And even if it takes a little bit longer than you expect, don't give up, right? Humans are creatures of habit. If you're trying to create some change in your life or someone else's, it takes time. Just keep doing it. And remember, this is the time that you have to be a spotlight or what did I write here? A lighthouse, because this is your time to inspire others. You've got to shine the light. You've got to be that light of reason. There's a lot of lack of reason right now. There's a lot of emotional kind of messaging that's going on right now. And it's hard sometimes to keep focused. It doesn't matter how intuitive, how grounded you are. We're all kind of working with that. One thing that you can do is embrace the energy of the Fool, which we did get, which I was really happy to see come through. Each day is a blessing. It's a gift. It's a reset. Enter it with purpose, hope, and resolve, and you're going to be off to a good start. This is the way that you clear your mind. This is the way that you open your heart to what's possible. This is the way that you can basically, through your own perseverance, become a clear channel and open things up. That's going to bring you the success that you deserve. Hard work, hope, open-heartedness, open-mindedness. Finally, gratitude's so important. Say, I thank you and mean it. Really say like, thank you for helping me out. Thank you for being you. Add a little bit more to the thank you because I was actually talking to my mom and she reminded me of this. And there's a great way to kind of elevate that a bit. Really make it personal and special when you say thanks, because right now we have kind of the equivalent of like, hey, how are you? I'm fine. What's up? Or thank you. Yeah, thank you. But it doesn't mean anything. It's like, ça va, ça va. Go a little bit deeper and say, thank you so much for doing this. It changed my day or changed my life or it made my year. Like that actually takes it to a new level. Really mean it. Gratitude changes your attitude. Let's get some bumper stickers because it does. It raises your frequency, right? And it also opens up your ability to connect with angels, with God, with the divine. Get out into the elements. Use water as your friend. Drink, bathe, meditate by it. It's a good thing. You have 2 king cards. So if you're looking for love, it's a good month. I see some evenly met energy. If you're in love, also a good month, but there's some accountability that needs to be dealt with, either you or your partner. Everything else around it is very good. So I just feel like getting something out in the open is all that needs to happen. If you're single and happy, no problem. But again, the accountability energy comes through for partnership. Don't say yes to something you don't want to do. Don't promise to do something that's more than you're ready to do. Basically, just honesty, transparency, inquisitiveness, all of that is going to break down the Seven of Swords. Speaking of breaking, you can break or make a cycle with the Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups, you can use your passion to elevate things. With all these cards of like water coming through, just make sure that you're not feeling overwhelmed. If you are, seek out help. The Ace of Cups is upright, however, so I feel pretty good about what you can do. And there's just a couple of risks that are necessary here with the Fool in the World. So once you step into that, I see many of you going after something you care about. When you really, really put your heart into it, that's when the Three of Pentacles energies happen. That's when you find that success, that recognition, that fulfillment. It's not just about money in the bank. It's also about your heart really feeling it. King of Wands and Four of Wands. You're a good manager this month too. I forgot to mention that. You have this sort of mentorship energy that's coming in. And a lot of times when we have a king and a fool or a king and a page, you might be drawn to help others, and that could be part of your journey. The King of, I forget to mention it, but it's the other side of the coin here. So some of you, no pun intended, with the King of Coins, some of you might be a first-time parent. It can be a mother or a father card. I don't really look at gender in the cards so much. I tend to see it more with the Queen of Pentacles, but we have two kings here. This could be a non-traditional family too, extending it for the first time, 2 women, 2 men, starting a family. So that's exciting as well. Or it could just be 2 people really ready to bring that child in. And I missed that before. All right, let's go ahead and expand it again one more time. Healing is possible this month. To be in that highest possible energy, I think you need to get out of your way of thinking, get out of your house a little bit. I see love coming through. So just hold that idea that this time it's going to be easier. So these two are absolutely connected because we have the heart space. And then in love, it says positive thinking is going to help your romantic and I would say your friendship opportunities. When we look at wealth, however, love also enters in. It's all about your heart this month. And that's why we got the water guardian here. So let things flow fluidly. When you're in that passion, that's when you get the Three of Pentacles energy. So I just really want you to give your all. Come together. We talked about elevating things here in relationships. You can do more by trying to shift, to encourage, than to sort of like point a finger and make someone feel bad. So try to elevate, try to lift up. You would want the same energy. And if we think of how it was when we were kids, you never wanted the teacher that was mean or the parent that would yell at you. You wanted the one that was kind of forgiving and encouraging. You do want the accountability. You can't let people get away with stuff, but I think that you want to build them up, not break them down. That's always been my goal with stuff. Let's look at past, present, and future, and then we can get into the meditation. I'm a little bit better with timing today. So as I look at the past, we have the 2 heavy energy cards here with the heart space, the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. I want to free that heaviness so that you can embrace the Ace of Cups upright. So let's see what's affecting you relationship-wise, or maybe what's coming through with the 7 of Swords. Let's clarify a little bit and look at the past and see how you can have a breakthrough. Let's see. 9 of Wands. Okay, don't give up. Keep working. So for me, this is just about not letting impatience for some of you get the better of you. 9 of Wands is a tricky card, right? One of the cool things with it, this one I like actually, it kind of reminds me of someone who's a builder. I was talking about someone that might be in construction. You're not going to give up before you put the final coat of paint on or nail the final nail into the wood. You're going to get it finished and then stand back. So this is saying for many of you, there's just this feeling of, I want to move on. I want to be free. I'm ready. And the Fool energy is absolutely kind of singing through. But this is the practical side saying, yes, ... but you have to finish this first. Also, for those of you that are very close to completion of something, before walking away, really evaluate, am I ready to let that go? Maybe just finish up the task at hand and then walk away with clear conscience, with clear karma, and with the feeling like I did it. For better or for worse, I got that finished. I feel really good about it. Could just be having a conversation too. Don't let anybody push you around, by the way, because the 9 and 10 of Wands can be an abusive card sometimes. But look how this person's like, no, I'm pushing back. Usually we see that in the Seven of Wands, but there can be sort of an overly defensive energy. With this one, it's like, I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor, I've got this. You're not going to knock me off this pedestal until I finish what I'm trying to finish. So be strong and don't put up with anybody's sort of garbage is what I see with the Nine of Wands. So finish it. You can do it. You've got what it takes. Stand up for yourself. And yeah, you're nearly there. That's what I'm seeing. Be patient with yourself. I mentioned a couple of personal journeys that have taken a long time. Sometimes it's 5 years, sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 10 years. It doesn't matter how long. The soul up there looking down is just saying, did you do it? That's all I care about. This time thing that we humans kind of connect ourselves to is just a construct. So stop paying attention to it so much. Knight of Coins in the present space. This is an investment card. And so we have the King of Pentacles in the center. The Knight here is saying, okay, I'm ready now to take, to receive, to develop. And as we look at present opportunities here with the Ace of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, some of you are ready to go after something for yourself. There's nothing bad with kind of focusing internally. Self-development is good. It's not necessarily selfish. Let's look at it as a way of kind of going a little bit deeper. So I would connect the Knight of Coins to the Three of Coins or the Three of Pentacles. So this is a decision to really understand yourself a little bit more, soul searching, schooling, or stepping up and putting yourself out there. Because on the Three of Pentacles, typically you'll see someone in the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition anyway, they're standing up on a ladder, everyone's looking, they're putting on that final detail that we saw with the Ten of Pentacles here. I'm sorry, with the Nine of Wands rather. Too many cards in front of me. And so you're pushing back a little bit and you're finishing things up. And with the Three of Pentacles rather, you'll have that ability to sort of say, yeah, I'm proud of what I'm doing here. So make sure that you're receiving what you need though. Compensation, if you're signing any contracts or anything, this is like, how do I fit into that equation? So self-interest is okay. Self-development is okay. You don't want to go overboard, obviously, but I think that given everything that I'm looking at, this is just saying this time around, I want to make sure that I'm accounting for how much I'm actually putting into it. So you matter, and fight for what matters when it comes to compensation, recognition, and licensing and things like that. And in a relationship, fight for equity, 50-50, right? Each side has their own sort of give and take. All right. Let's look at the future. I want to see where the Ace of Cups, the Fool, and the Wheel of Fortune are bringing you, what you can do to embrace it. All right, what are you guys afraid of? I'm going to pull a clarifying card. We've got the Devil card here. So this is about your fear holding you back. Also, this Devil is interesting. You don't really see anything on it, which I like. Is there a codependent relationship in your life right now where at that moment of success, because that's really what we have with the Wheel of Fortune, somebody steps in and makes you worry about them, makes you second guess yourself, makes you somehow feel like it's not going to work. We're going to break that chain. We're going to break this cycle. I need to pull one last card to clarify the Devil, and then we're going to go into the meditation so we have enough time. I like you got the bonus card in this deck. And to me, it's like beyond the star. This would sort of be like the galaxy, if you want to, the universe, a cosmic sort of card. In this deck, it's infinity. It's the fountain. But you'll see the symbol is infinity. So you are more than that fear. You are more than that person. This is a breakthrough for you. So the next time this energy comes through, it's actually just the universe saying, are you ready? Every time I've had something key in my life where I kind of want to go up to that next path, there's always something that will come through to put a potential block in my way to sort of see like, are you sure? And I just kind of push it away, say, yeah, I'm sure. Like, move aside. This is time. So I feel like you have one more stumbling block or one more thing that will pop up, but it's going to be a muted version of this. A fear, an anxiety, maybe second guessing of yourself. You want to come through with this infinity energy that we're seeing in the fountain here. And it's interesting because we have the Water Guardian here. We have the Ace of Cups. This card is literally the fountain, which is water. So you're going to let this galactic flow of passion come through and say, Nothing's going to stop me now, which brings me back to an 80s movie and an 80s song. But yeah, nothing's going to stop you. Let that come through. Let your heart shine through. And you want to kind of be this cosmic gateway. If you've ever watched 2001, this reminds me of what the Stargate looked like, because it was kind of shown on a plane like that. So for many of you, what I'm seeing here is maybe we can do that in the meditation, is kind of go into a Stargate and you come through the other side a different person and ready for something different. Okay. Let's go ahead and meditate now. Before I do that, I want to just say thanks to everybody that's been kind enough to show support. I forgot to mention that I will put a little thank you on my video on replay afterwards, but right here and right now, I can't kind of call you out as you're contributing. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. While I'm getting set up as well, if you haven't clicked like and subscribe, it's a great time to do that, because after we do this cosmic meditation, it's hard to focus. So, okay. Let's start at a tree. I mentioned the magic and the power of a tree. So pick your favorite type of tree and imagine that you are laying down under this beautiful canopy of green energy. I'm kind of seeing a weeping willow for myself. I like a weeping willow because of its flexibility. And for me, it's almost like this beautiful umbrella of energy. And it kind of has a wispy sort of quality to it. So if you want to be under a weeping willow like I am, go for it. Lean against it and maybe imagine that there's a little creek flowing. I actually had something just like this where I grew up. There was a stream around a weeping willow tree, and it was really nice. So sit against that weeping willow. See that stream of energy around you. It's actually energy. It's not just water. And as you close your eyes, I want you to view the world with your third eye. It's almost like the way an insect would see it, or how your higher self would see it. See the energy moving. Or if you imagine like the movie The Matrix, when Neo was able to see through the code and you saw all of this light and movement, imagine that you could kind of see the energetic code of the water, of the tree, of the ground, of the sky, of the earth. All the elements surround you. You're not in that tiny little box that we saw at the center. You're out in nature, tapping into these elemental forces that are allowing you to move beyond your limits. And we're going to go into that Stargate in a second. It's going to be in your heart, by the way, but we're going to focus first on all of these elements. So firmly place your feet on the ground. Feel the connection to the earth. Allow your heart to anchor to the earth using the tree as a guide, following the roots through the layers of the mantle until you get into the core. I want you to just sort of feel the heat, the warmth, the light of the planet, and just say something nice that you really feel and mean. Thank you for this day, the breath that I'm breathing, the tree that we're leaning against, just basically for giving me a place to call home. Anchor your heart in the center of the earth. Find your way back to your body. And now breathe in, just like the tree. Become one with the tree as you breathe this beautiful, clean air around you. Smelling maybe the scent of honeysuckle or whatever kind of flower is around you right now. Feeling the sense of being clear and clean. Looking up at the light above you, feeling its warmth and energy. In this moment, you're almost like the magician. You are that center point between the sky and the earth. And it all meets in your heart space. And if you can really go into your heart, imagine now that you're taking your insight, your energy, and going into your heart. You have an anchor in the planet, but your heart is cosmic, it's divine. So as we go into this Stargate, you can always come back to Earth by just thinking of the planet. But why not take a moment to sort of see who you truly are, to go into your higher self and to meditate and imagine that we're going to go into the Stargate. So closing your eyes, I want you to go into the green energy of the heart. And I want you to start to feel what it's like to be surrounded by that cosmic love, that higher love. And as I play the singing bowl, imagine this beautiful Stargate-like energy starting to open up. You start to see all of your chakras lighting up, and the combination of the light creates this brilliant white light that drowns everything else out. And it takes you to your purpose, to your higher self. It shows you who you are. So enjoy this energetic upgrade, and I'll be back after the singing bowl. Take a deep breath. Take a look at where you've come. See yourself from a cosmic perspective. See your new energy, your new face, your new body. See your mind from a different point of view. How have you changed? What clarity have you gained? Are you ready for the opportunities that await you? Hopefully the answer is yes. As you affirm that you are ready, as you celebrate the beauty that stands before you and within you, connect back to the earth. Think of the planet. Think of that tree. Think of the water moving across the ground. Maybe put your foot in the water. And as you do that, feel that your energy comes back into your spirit, into your body wholly, and feel that you have that connection to the earth and also to this cosmic stargate that brought you above, beyond your highest expectations, and showing you that you are more than just the crude matter that's in front of us. You are luminous. You are amazing. You are ageless, timeless, and deathless. So there you go. Okay. Give me a second here, and I just want to say thanks and do a couple last things as we close today. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in this meditation today. I know you have a lot of choices here on YouTube, so I appreciate you spending time with me. I noticed that we had some kind souls that were giving me some super chats and super stickers. I appreciate you. Like I said, once this is on replay, I will put a little bit of gratitude in the comments as well, but I just want to say thank you right now. And just a quick few pieces of information on how you can connect with me. I'd like to say also thank you to all of those that are already channel members, everyone that's talking right now with the green text. I was able to buy today's tarot deck because of you, and anyone that's given the super chats. You're in my heart, and I appreciate you. If you like what you saw today, an easy way to show support that requires nothing but a click is to hit this button and then hit that button. Subscribe and thumbs up. If you want to get notifications, you can also click here. I'd love for you to join me on social media. On most platforms, I'm simply my name. So on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, Patreon as well, it's just at Nicholas Ashbaugh. And I use story reminders on Instagram and Facebook, and I put some bonus stuff there. Same thing on TikTok. It's usually behind the scenes or maybe a recap of what I talk about in the channel messages. All of this information, by the way, is on my website, so you don't have to remember all the handles and all of that. You can just go to nicholasashbaugh.com, and there you'll find information about upcoming videos, the schedule, what decks I'm using, how to schedule an appointment. All of that is located on my website. Twitter is the only handle that's a little bit different. It's at @Ashbaugh, so you can feel free to follow me there if you'd like to. And if you prefer PayPal, my URL is paypal.me/surprise, surprise. It's just my name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. All of this, again, on my website. If you're in doubt, you can find the official links and connections there. So very special reading today, some beautiful energy coming through from the heart. I hope that you felt that and received that upgrade. I appreciate everybody for taking some time today, and much love and light to you, okay? Apollo's resting, but love from him as well. Thank you, Ryan and Maria, for helping me out today, and to all the familiar faces and new faces, thank you. I'll be back again on, let's see, it's Friday. I'll be back again on Sunday reading for Gemini, and the schedule again is on my website. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.